sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Local law enforcement continues to warn students and parents over the consequences of spreading school safety threats. The details just ahead. And learn how the Victoria Police Department connected with the community during the annual National Night Out. Plus, the latest on the port workers' strike impacting the East Coast and the Gulf just ahead.
And we got lots more above average heat and lots more sunshine to come our way for the rest of this week until, what does this headline say? A front still coming our way next week. We'll talk about that and everything that's going on in the tropics and the weather coming up.
And Victoria West battles Kerrville Tivy Antlers this Friday night. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, and happy second day of October.
That's right, October. We're wearing pink for our usual
October,
Wednesday,
yep.
but also it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
So we're going to be wearing a lot more pink this month.
Absolutely. I'll definitely rock the heck out of pink.
Definitely. Well, except for Friday or Saturday, Parker, we're going to be wearing our school colors because Mizzou and A&M on ABC.
That's right. Shirley is from Mizzou and I'm from Aggie Land. We got a big game coming our way this weekend, but we're going to take a look at all that later on Sunrise because right now we got some beautiful weather to talk about this morning. You're looking live in Victoria. I hope y'all get outside and enjoy that, or step outside and enjoy that weather before we heat up today with that clear skies. Right now sitting at 67 degrees in Victoria and a dew point 3 degrees off at 64, bringing humidity to 90%. So definitely plenty of humidity out there, but I'm expecting that humidity to drop right back down when that sun comes out, and that's going to drop our dew points as we go into this afternoon today. But looking at weather headlines, we're going to continue down the path of the hot days and some more cool nights, nice nights I should say. We're going to continue watching for more tropical activity in the Gulf, and we're also watching that cold front that's going to arrive next week. We're going to talk about that later on Sunrise. I know y'all want that front, but in the background today, dew points going to continue, like I said, in the 50s and 60s when that sun comes up, drawing our dew points down, going to draw down that humidity as well, and that's going to stay like that, bringing another hot day today. I'm thinking mid-90s. So if you're sending your kiddos at the door today, pack them some more lightweight clothing and some extra water. We're going to take more details on that coming up next. Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Now to the history unfolding in the Middle East. Iran attacking Israel, firing hundreds of ballistic missiles, some hitting their targets. U.S. forces rushing to Israel's defense.
Overnight, Israel striking Hezbollah militants in Beirut, hours after the largest ever ballistic missile attack on Israel. Iran launching an air assault over major cities, firing more than 200 missiles. Explosions lighting up the night sky. Israeli defense systems intercepting many of those projectiles. U.S. forces also shooting down missiles. Multiple Israeli military bases were hit. This massive crater left behind near the Mossad intelligence headquarters in Tel Aviv.
The blast radius here is about 200 meters. You can see what it did to that car. The missile essentially disintegrating on impact here, and the crater it left behind is about 30 feet deep.
Terrified residents taking cover in shelters, shoppers hunkering down. Iran firing ballistic missiles in the assault, a faster moving attack than the barrage of missiles fired at Israel back in April. After that attack, Israel targeted a single Iranian radar installation, but a larger response is expected this time. Israel could target Iranian oil infrastructure, but a U.S. official tells ABC News Israel will not hit Iranian nuclear sites.
Given the fact there was not major damage, they're hoping that Israel tamps it down.
Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
The Victoria County Sheriff is sending a firm message to parents and students about the consequences of threats against school safety. Last week, law enforcement and Victoria ISD held a joint press conference to address a series of threats. Sheriff Justin Marr says more than 12 students were arrested since the school year started in mid-August. Making a false report or threat to a campus is a felony charge. Sheriff Marr says rights can be stripped away as a result of such a charge.
Well, there's lots of rights and privileges. You know, businesses won't hire you, or not all businesses will hire you. It can affect many of your rights, the ability to vote or, you know, possess a firearm or anything like that. I mean, it's just it's serious. It's a serious offense, and you know, it's awful. It's a young group that's dealing with this right now, and it's kind of a sad situation.
Sheriff Marr urges parents to talk with their children about the severity of the consequences. He's also reminding parents they can face a felony charge or spreading misinformation on social media about unverified threats to campuses. He says if you know something, report it directly to the sheriff's office instead of sharing it on social media. On Tuesday, Texas recognized the relationship between first responders and the community with National Night Out. Here in the Crossroads, many communities gathered to get to know their neighbors better, to support the police, firefighters, and emergency services. Just off Guy Grant Road in Victoria is a community on Bramblebush Lane. Each year, the neighborhood comes together to grill food and share drinks. Of course, they always freely share with the police officers and first responders that visit as well. Many officers on the force believe in the importance of National Night Out.
We look forward to National Night Out every year. It's a great time for us to come out and get to meet the residents of different neighborhoods. It's always good to know the people in the neighborhood, because then they're not, they're less reluctant to come talk to us, and they would, like I said, they tell us maybe problems and crime trends and things that we can hone in on and try to reduce those crimes and make the neighborhood safer.
First responders had well over 20 events to reach throughout the night. Dock workers hit the picket lines in a historic port strike that could impact prices. Thousands of U.S. dock workers walked off the job early Tuesday after failing to come to an agreement with the U.S. Maritime Alliance. They're asking for increased pay and less automation. The strike is clogging dozens of ports along the East and Gulf Coast and could potentially raise consumer prices ahead of the holiday season. The ports account for more than half of the nation's container imports. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Let's get a look at our time up here at our clock. It is 6:36 on our on our Wednesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. This weekend, the community will gather to support a significant cause related to a major health issue.
I'm ABC's Terry Russum in Washington. The vice presidential candidates facing off in the first and only debate, talking immigration and abortion rights. That story coming up.
And also coming up next after the break in the full forecast, it's going to be another hot Texas day today. I'll tell you just how hot I think it's going to be here in the Crossroads. But coming up later on Sunrise, we're going to continue looking at what's trying to form out there in the tropics.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information concerning the unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and criminal mischief. On July 9th, 2024, a white or Hispanic male entered the parking lot area of a closed business at the 2600 block of North Navarro Street. The male subject has medium-length hair that is slicked back with a forearm-length tattoo on his right forearm. He was wearing a large chain necklace, a black t-shirt, black pants, and white or light-colored shoes. If you have any information about the identity of this suspect, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. With Victoria Crime Stoppers, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. You're looking live in Cuero this morning. Real nice out there. Y'all should. I'm really highly suggesting y'all should all step outside and go enjoy that lovely weather before we start heating up today, because we're going to have another sunny one today. But right now it's 72 in Cuero, and your dew point 13 degrees off at 59 degrees, bringing humidity to 63%. So plenty humid out there, like I said. But I'm expecting actually not that humid up there in Cuero, but that humidity will start dropping as soon as the sun starts coming up, dropping our dew points today back into the 50s and 60s. Y'all should enjoy it, like I said. But look at your future clouds and radar today. For today, you're going to notice nothing but lots of sunshine. You're actually not going to really see too much in terms of cloud cover on here. I do think, however, sometime in the mid to late afternoon, sometime after 3 or 4, we might start seeing maybe a few kind of spotty clouds, maybe a few spotty cumulus clouds. But other than that, it's going to be a beaming sunny day today. And with that beaming sun today, I'm thinking it's going to already be about 90 at noontime. But in the afternoon, it's going to be another hot one. I'm thinking about 94 here in Victoria. This computer thinks 93, but everybody else is going to be around 94. While the coastal areas, y'all might maybe see upper 80s, like around 90, or the low 90s for today. I have a high of 91 in forecast for Port Lavaca today. But in the background, we still got more high pollen out there. We're talking grass and ragweed are both high today. Tree pollen is nice and low. Air quality is going to be between moderate to moderate and healthy today, so be careful with that. And your UV index, that's going to be very high with that sunshine beaming today. So if you have some sensitive skin, maybe put on some sunscreen for today. But if you're going down to the beach, I would definitely recommend put on some sunscreen. Smooth waves 1 foot or less, and your water's still very warm at 87 degrees. But we got lots more sunshine and heat to come before the cold front arrives next week. And we got to talk about the tropics, and that's coming up next.
Now we're only 2 days away from the start of week 6 of high school football. We have one huge district game between Kerrville-Tivy Antlers and the Victoria West Warriors. And both of these teams heading this matchup again, two top powerhouses. And for Kerrville, they're 4-1. Their only loss was to San Antonio Davenport. They have some star players in their quarterback, Jackson Kincaid, and they also have a tough running back as well for Tivy. So I think it's going to be tough. But for Victoria West, they're undefeated right now, 5-0, and they're building more and more confidence each week. They beat San Antonio McCullum last week on the road, and Coach Courtney Boyce, he's happy they're exceeding expectations right now. They were 6-7 last year. Now they got 5 wins. They can almost reach that goal on Friday night. And they got quarterback Dominic Martinez, Tristan Menard, and Genesis Jeffries. They're going to be all huge for this week. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Thank you, Max. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus. Both the Harris and Trump campaigns are claiming victory after last night's vice presidential debate. Senator J.D. Vance and Governor Tim Walz facing off for the first and only time. The two taking on issues including abortion rights, immigration, and the growing conflict in the Middle East.
In the first and only vice presidential debate between Governor Tim Walz and Senator J.D. Vance, both men asked if they would support a preemptive strike by Israel on Iran after Iran launched the largest ever ballistic missile attack on Israel yesterday.
And look, it is up to Israel what they think they need to do to keep their country safe, and we should support our allies wherever they are when they're fighting the bad guys.
Israel's ability to be able to defend itself is absolutely fundamental. Getting its hostages back, fundamental. And ending the humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
On abortion rights, Walz accusing the Trump campaign of planning to create a registry of pregnancies.
It's going to make it more difficult, if not impossible, to get contraception and limit access, if not eliminate access to infertility treatments.
Senator, do you want to respond to the governor's claim? Will you create a federal pregnancy monitoring agency?
No, Nora, certainly we won't.
On the issue of immigration, Vance pressed on Trump's plan for mass deportations.
I had a mother who struggled with opioid addiction and has gotten clean. I don't want people who are struggling with addiction to be deprived of their second chance because Kamala Harris let in fentanyl into our communities at record levels. So you've got to stop the bleeding.
Look, we fix this issue with a bill that is necessary, but the issue on this is what happens when you don't want to solve it. You demonize it.
The candidates sparring over the results of the 2020 election.
I would just ask that, did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future. Did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking their mind in the wake of the 2020 COVID situation?
That is a damning non-answer.
It's a damning non-answer for you to not talk about censorship.
Walz was asked to clarify his claim that he was at Tiananmen Square during the deadly protests in 1989 when he was actually there months later. Walz says he misspoke, saying he's a knucklehead at times. Perry Russom, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We want to know, who do you think won the vice presidential debate? Okay, let's take a look. 79% of you say J.D. Vance, very reflective of our voting trends here in Victoria. And 21% of you say Tim Walz. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. Nearly 7 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's disease, a leading cause of death in the United States. This weekend, the Victoria community will come together to raise funds and awareness to fight against the disease. The Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is Saturday at Riverside Park in the Children's Playground Pavilion. Registration starts at 8, with the ceremony getting underway at 9. It's not too late to sign up. Our very own Shauna Curry will be at the event emceeing and supporting. Jimmy Carter has accomplished something no other former president has. He notched a 100th birthday. Carter, who served one term in the White House, hit a milestone Tuesday at his home in Plains, Georgia, where he has been receiving hospice care for the last 19 months. The proud Democrat has told relatives he wants to hang on until October 15th, when early voting begins in Georgia, so he can cast his ballot in the 2024 presidential election. Carter celebrated his birthday in the same one-story home he and Rosalind Carter built in the early 1960s. The time is now 6:46 on our Wednesday morning. Still to come, the Department of Education began testing a new version of a critical financial aid form. Okay, it is time to celebrate those birthdays. Happy 10th birthday to Mason. Happy birthday, Mason. May your birthday be as amazing and extraordinary as you are. A little more as well, and a little more as well. Love, Mom, Dad, and family.
Oh, that's so sweet. Happy birthday, Mason. And also happy birthday to Kelly Ripa. The talk show host is turning 54 today. Happy birthday, Kelly.
Kelly Ripa, forever young.
Oh, there you go.
And happy birthday to English musician, actor, and activist Sting. He turns 73 today.
Happy birthday, Sting. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com, click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, the time is now, let's get a look at our clock up here. It is 6:47 on our Wednesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right. Happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all are still wondering what's going on out there in the tropics because we got an area that's just off our doorstep here that the National Hurricane Center is watching, and we're going to talk about that now. So what's going on out there? We're going to continue watching this little orange shaded area for tropical development over the next 5 or 6 days or so. And I think development is going to happen between tomorrow all the way through Sunday of this weekend. And we also have, if you notice, there's another system out there just south of Mexico, actually going to be making landfall in Mexico here real soon. That's currently Depression 11E with winds at 35 miles an hour. But if that is actually expected to turn into a tropical storm, that will be named Christy, making landfall down there. You can actually see there's a tropical storm warning right there in blue, right off the Big Bend southern coast of Mexico. But I just turned everything off so you can take a look at what we're looking at here over the next few days. You're going to notice right off the bat there's a little bit of a counterclockwise circulation right here. That's one of the tropical waves we've been watching all week. But there's also, you can't really notice this one, but there's another tropical wave right here in the Bay of Campeche. These two waves are expected to combine into one as we go into this week and this weekend. And the good news for us is the computers are suggesting that's going to go east-northeast towards the Dixie Alley / Florida area. Bad news for them because they just had a lean. But looking at the rest of the tropics, we do have Hurricane Kirk. That's expected to still become a major hurricane by Friday. We have another area out there that's expected to become, Leslie's the next system name, but that's all that's out there in the Atlantic. But we're going to continue watching that area for next development. And the good news is, you're going to notice this is actually the latest Climate Prediction Center's outlook for the next 3 weeks. Good news is it looks like we're going to have a nice little lull in tropical activity coming our way real soon. But we're going to look at that and more coming up later on Sunrise. Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Tuesday, the Department of Education began testing a new version of a critical financial aid form known as the FAFSA. Congress mandated the department streamline the application process to deliver more money to college students. But when the department tried to revamp its form last year, it caused more problems. Some students did not get the aid they needed on time for this current academic year. The department will conduct testing on the 2025-2026 form to make sure it works properly before the department makes it public in December. A $550 million makeover of the historic Alamo is now underway. That effort includes what will be a new visitor center and museum. The Texas Lieutenant Governor was among the many dignitaries at the ceremony Tuesday to kick off the construction. It's being touted as a world-class facility and a significant milestone in the mission's history. Alamo officials say the 100,000 square foot museum will help deepen public understanding of its history, and the construction is scheduled to be completed in 2027. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. President Joe Biden is to address the destruction brought by Hurricane Helene. President Joe Biden is visiting an emergency operations center in North Carolina today to meet with officials and first responders addressing the destruction brought by Hurricane Helene. It's now the second deadliest hurricane to hit the U.S. mainland in the last 50 years. Officials say at least 162 people in 6 states were killed by the storm. Helene's wrath is also still felt in South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Virginia, and Tennessee. A bipartisan group of senators are calling for the swift passage of disaster relief legislation. Ryan Ruth, the gunman charged in the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump, now has a trial date. A court filing says Judge Aileen Cannon filed an order Tuesday setting a criminal jury trial for November 18th. However, this date could move if either party files a motion to delay it, provided Cannon finds that they have given good reason. Ruth is also charged with assaulting a federal officer and 3 other weapons violations. He could spend the rest of his life behind bars if he is convicted on all counts. Today is National Coffee with a Cop Day, and the Victoria Police Department is welcoming the public to join them for a cup of coffee. It starts in just a few minutes at 7 a.m. and it goes until 9 a.m. at 4102 North Navarro. The Victoria County Public Health Department needs your feedback in order to assess the health of our community. Residents are encouraged to complete an online survey that asks about quality of life, access to health care, chronic disease, health habits, community issues, and more. The survey is open through Saturday. Those who can complete it can enter a drawing for a $100 gift card. To get the link to the survey, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. A battled child care industry's latest challenge, competing for 4-year-olds. Read this story about early education by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And we do have time for a final check of our forecast with Parker with a beautiful matching sunrise. Parker.
That's right, Carolina. Look at this pink sunrise. We're both matching. We both got pink on today, but look at that gorgeous sunrise out there this morning, folks. If you're going to go see that sunrise, it's a great time to do that. Y'all are in the Port Lavaca along the immediate coast. Y'all are in the low 70s this morning, but looking at the temperatures everywhere else, look at that. We got lots more beautiful upper 60s in the forecast out there today, and that's going to continue like that for the next few nights until we get a cold front next week. We could be looking at lows maybe in the 50s next week, so stick around. We're going to talk about that in just a second, because with a sunny day, you just saw that there, or saw that on the camera out there, we got lots of 90s in the forecast all across our beautiful state today. But looking a little bit closer to home, I'm thinking about 91 this afternoon in Port Lavaca. It's already going to be about 90 degrees at noontime, but lots of sunshine today. And in Victoria, lots of sun as well. I'm thinking about 94, maybe 95 for a few moments or so. And about the exact same for Cuero today. I'm thinking 94 or 95 for a few moments with lots of sunshine, maybe some passing clouds in the afternoon time as well. But as we go into this weekend and next week, we're going to continue down that hot and sunny weather path with maybe some spotty showers picking up over the weekend. All that ahead of the cold front coming our way next week.
That's right, and don't let that cold front put your guard down,
right,
because it is still hurricane season.
Yes.
And so you want to take a moment to pick up a hurricane tracker guide sometime this week.
That's right.
And remember to follow us on our YouTube channel, and be sure to tune in to 25 News Now tonight with Shauna, Dawn, Mac, and Max. We'll see you this evening.